Anybody had to come back and say, you know what, I got it back again?
Well, I had one fella, but what had happened, he was very slow taking the treatment, and he kept, well, another problem he kept going in for CAT scans. And I tell people, you know, CAT scans, like one X-ray is dangerous. I mean, you go into that X-ray department, they don't wear those lead aprons for no reason. But when you go for a CAT scan, it's like taking 10,000 X-rays. So it's a massive dose of radiation, and I tell people that, you know, don't do it. But they listen to their doctors. And I did have one there that recurred, but well, since then he's taken the oil and he's doing fine.
Wow.
But it didn't recur in the same spot. It recurred in another spot. He had terminal lymphoma.
And the folks with the MS, they're okay?
Oh yeah, the MS. We've got well, people like, you know, since we put the documentary Run from the Cure, now people worldwide, you know, all over the place now are making the medicine. And we're getting these results back with people with MS. It's not just treating their disease; it's curing it.
Now, I've heard from some healers that once they've had the chemo, that there's no coming back from that. Have you had people who've had chemo that have started the hemp oil and were able to cure themselves?
Oh yes. Basically, what we've seen, people that come here and they've had a diagnosis. A lot of people are just diagnosed. And they're just, you know, the cancer is so advanced, you just tell them to go home and die. Well, people like that, we've had pretty well 100% batting average. But even people that have been damaged badly by chemotherapy and radiation, in 75 to 80% of cases, if they'll take the medicine the right way, you know, in 75 to 80% of cases, we can save them. But there are about 20% that have been so badly damaged by the chemotherapy that no matter, even if you can cure their cancer, the damage that chemotherapy has done to their internal organs in the end kills them. I mean, people have to realize that chemotherapy is just poison. That's all it is.
Right.
And it damages, every time you take a dose of chemo, it damages every internal organ in your body, including your brain.
So if I was to take this for 3 months, if I had cancer, let's say, and I was to take it for 3 months and I got cured, is that it? I don't have to take it anymore, or do I have to take it for my life, or what's the story?
Oh no, Frankie. Well, basically, it's up to the person themselves. I mean, like I said, there's absolutely no addictive nature to it. People forget to take it, but at the end of the treatment, it's, you know, you can just stop the treatment and walk away. But most people, they tend to they want to take like maintenance doses, like 1 or 2 drops a week, just to keep the THC in their system, because it's good for your body.
So you said in the beginning that they would take 2 ounces. Is that 2 ounces over a 3-month period?
Yes. It's usually between 55 to 60 grams of this oil. It's only a small amount.
Well, that's just like a little dab. And they put it on the inside of their cheek? Is that how they do it?
Well, like well, actually what I do, I just take a dab of my finger and I scrape it on my teeth, and because it's like a thick grease anyway, and then I take a drink of cold water, and then I just slip it off my teeth, and I swallow it like a pill. Or you can put a little dab on bread or something like that and fold it over. If you don't like the taste. There's all kinds of different ways of taking it, but the main thing is to get it into your body.
Right. Jonathan, if you got the cure for cancer, why would you want to stop taking it to keep you in good health? Well, I said that, well, you're cured. You maybe didn't have to take it anymore. It's like anything,
it's the preventative aspect of this medicine that, to me, why not prevent disease? If people would take this oil, they could prevent diseases like diabetes. They couldn't. Somebody on the oil, you won't get diabetes, MS, cancer. So many of these horrible diseases could be prevented entirely if people would just take small doses of this oil. I'm not talking about anyone getting high. It's just small doses of this oil. Keep the level of THC, build a little level of THC up in your system, and you'll prevent these diseases. And once you're used to the oil, like people can't, you can't tell when. I can take huge gobs of this oil. And I've had people come here and watch me like 4 or 5 hours, and you can't even tell that I have it in me. I can drive my car. I'm not impaired. It doesn't impair your motor skills. That's another thing they're trying to shove down the Canadians' throats here. It's all about, well, it's the same as alcohol. Well, alcohol impairs your motor skills. Hemp does not. Now, what about all of those pharmaceutical drugs those doctors are throwing around so freely? All of these morphines and painkillers. Do you think these people that are driving cars on those aren't impaired?
Well,
hemp does not impair you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's incredible that somebody who's doing something so good can get so, I guess, lost. It's really lost in the system because the system is I mean, there's only one word for it. It's ludicrous, it's stupid, it's absurd that nobody wants to
My
listen.
father fought in Normandy for this country. He was badly wounded. And when I see what this country has become today, I mean, not much wonder I'm disillusioned. And at one point, I was planning on leaving this country and going to South America. But, like if everybody runs away, then they'll win. I mean, we have to stand our ground. We have to tell the truth. And, we have to fight.
Well, you certainly are passionate about it.
When something cures your own cancer, when you cure your own cancer with this oil, how can you not be passionate about it? And I see these miracles every day. I mean, I had 2 calls this morning, 2 terminal cancer patients, both doing great. This is, how do you turn your back on this? And the system knew, that the government knew, even the court system. When I first went into the court system, the first thing I did, I walked over and I gave the Crown prosecutor a copy of that same tape I'd given to the RCMP. There was the patients on it, and I thought that they would take this and look at it and realize this doesn't belong in a court. I thought they would take it and throw it right back in the government's lap. But instead, no. It's just like, it doesn't matter what he was doing with it. He was breaking the law. And that's the way they went about it. Like, I mean, they knew, and that's the reason when, even during the court case, they would not let my patients on the stand. I had people there that had been cured with terminal cancer, and they would not let them speak.
And what was the reasoning?
No reasoning. It's just
that
we don't care what you were using it for. The only issue is here: did you grow it, and did you give it to people? Well, I never ever denied that. I always made it. I had a full-page article done by a newspaper. Well, in 2004, a year before I was ever charged, the Spring Hill Record did a full-page article detailing all of my activities curing cancer with hemp. It was no secret. Everyone knew. So, I went about this in the most open manner possible. I never tried to hide anything. I told the RCMP I was growing it, and I gave the medicine away. Now, tell me where I did something wrong. This country has made me into a criminal. Well, I wear the badge proudly because we all know who the real criminals are. And they're right there in Ottawa, and the big money behind them. They're the criminals.
But, Rick, have you ever seen those antiquated laws that they forget to take off the books, like horses can't drink, water in the middle of the street, or women can't wear pants, or the silliest, most stupid laws, and you wonder how they even got made, and yet somebody forgot to take them off the books, kind of thing. Have you ever seen those kinds of laws? I remember reading some of the ludicrous things. I can't even remember what they are now. But it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that you weren't allowed to do that. Like it was like a horse and a donkey can't be next to each other. That's the kind of stupidity I'm talking about. And this is the same kind of law. It needs to be changed. Have you taken it to Ottawa? Have you gone into a meeting of into the Senate, into any? Have you done anything like that?
I've sent 2 proposals. In 2003, I sent a proposal to the Federal Minister of Health, Anne McClellan, detailing the whole thing. I never even got a response from her. A year later, I went back, and Yulal Desange, he was the Minister of Health at that time. I sent him another proposal. And about 6 months later, I got a letter back from him telling me that I was breaking the law and that I should go to Health Canada. Well, if he's the Minister of Health, isn't he the guy that runs it?
Yeah.
They would not come near this. W5, when we sent them out the video originally, back in 2005, we heard no word back. Then in 2006, they come in here and close the Legion down. The Royal Canadian Legion, or local Legion, was closed over this issue, which was totally insane.
Wait a minute. They closed the local Legion. These
yes.
are the sons of and people who have gone to war or whatever. Mm-hmm. They closed the Legion because you met there over this issue, or why would they close the Legion?
Well, the Legion backed me. The membership backed me in an open letter. We put an open letter out to all the politicians, the police, doctors, the Cumberland Health Authority, all of these people. Please attend this meeting. We would like some explanations. And I was bringing patients to the meeting and everything. It was a public meeting. The day it was to be held, the RCMP come in that morning with Maritime Command and shut the Legion down.